So today we are here and we will be diving into the conversation on racial reconciliation. We have the one and only Mrs. Gloria Scott Richmond, also known as Mama G. We'll probably refer to you as that. And we just want to say thank you for being here. And our first question that we have for you is, what does racial reconciliation mean to you? And from your experiences, how would you define that?
That's a big one, Kat. First of all, thank you for the invitation, for the opportunity. This is a conversation that I pray will go on till Jesus comes or calls for us. And that is what racial reconciliation is to me. It's realizing God's kingdom on this earth. Because here's the deal, guys. God made up diversity. He created us in his image, after his own likeness. And I can't wait to see Jesus's face one of these days, because it has to be a beautiful mosaic of his creation. And so things definitely, if you have something to be reconciled, that means there's been a break, right? Yeah. And so it's the coming together of what should be, without rhetoric, without kumbaya, but people being real, reconciled first to the Father. And then when we are reconciled truly to the Father, guess what? We're gonna be reconciled as the mosaic, as God intended it to be. The Lord's Prayer states, "Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven." And I read the last book, or the last book of the Bible, Revelation, where there's that beautiful scene around the throne, a number that no man can number. And they're singing one song, a diverse set of people, but they're singing one song.
We did want to ask, it's a heavy question, but after the desegregation of the university, how are you able to reconcile with your peers?
The desegregate, now you mean from when I was a little child? Okay.
And then coming to the university and your story.
Yes, most definitely. Well, as we know, the government put pressure on all institutions to integrate. And if you didn't, you would get in trouble. And so God took advantage of that nudge. God used the government to nudge Lee College to integrate. And it's not a proud part of our history. It's not something that we uphold, but really that is why we became an integrated community. And when the doors were open for African Americans to come to Lee, it wasn't a pleasant place to be. And I don't know for what reason, because I was alive then. However, I was not here. I was too young. And the stories that they tell, there's one lady in particular that said that her roommate's dad said that he would not allow his child, who is white, to be in the same room or to be in the same environment as a black person, and he did not say black. I cannot even imagine what that must have felt like, but her parents, the African American child, her parents said, "We want you to stay here." And you would think that, wow, that's pretty cruel. But she became a trailblazer. If she did not stay, Forget about the law, forget about the government. But if she didn't stay, then it would have made it harder in August of 1985, decades later, for me to come. And for not only for me to come to Lee, but to stay at Lee. And I will say that when I landed at Lee, I met folks of all different skin color that embraced who I was, that celebrated me for me, not for what I could do. And so, yes, we have problems, but I can honestly say that when I was at Lee as an undergrad student, I had the whiter than the white to embrace me. In fact, two of my mentors, I have 4 mentors, my parents, and two of my mentors are who I call my white parents, Dr. David and Sister Virginia Horton. They loved on me. They corrected me when I needed to be corrected, just like your parents.
We need it.
Yeah, exactly. But they saw something in me and they gave me a chance. The young lady that opened those doors or stayed within the confines of Lee College, even when it was not comfortable for her, the more people that came is the more you make it comfortable for somebody else. We cannot leave a place just because it's uncomfortable, because there's somebody coming after us. There's a Gloria Scott coming in, right?
Yes.
And look now.
So as we push forward in this goal towards racial reconciliation, what are some ideologies that you believe that we need to let go of as we push towards racial reconciliation?
I only have a few minutes, right? Okay, so let me hit the highlights. The ideology that a person does not have value in reality. Now, we say that on paper.
Oh, yeah.
You can say a lot on paper because words and the icons on the page don't actually have life unless you put life to that word, right?
Right.
Okay. Making sure that what's on the paper comes into reality. Yes, it's uncomfortable.
It will be.
And it will be, and it should be. Because once we get uncomfortable, don't we do everything we can to make it right?
Sure do.
Bam. But letting go of ignorance.
Preach.
Intentional ignorance. Now, listen, you and I have different skin colors. Big whoop. But if I need a blood transfusion and you have the matching blood type, am I going to be picky? I don't think so. Not if I want to live. Our hope is found in the Lord Jesus Christ. And didn't he pray in John 17 that beautiful prayer that they may be, and he prayed that for us as future believers, that they may be one as you and I are one. Speaking to the Father, there's diversity in unity.
Yes.
The ideal is that people will know us as Christ followers because of the love that we have for one another, letting go of this hopeless feeling that it can't work. The world right now, it's crazy. And if you look at the world through the lens of a worldly worldview, you will lose all hope.
That summer showed us that.
Right?
Yeah.
What if we as Christ followers lost the ideology of fear and said that, you know what? God is on my side. In fact, there are more with us than are against us. What if we just, well, we can't link arm in arm because of social distancing right now, but what if we did that metaphorically and just said, you know what? I see your color. God is not colorblind. He made color in every sense of the world.
We can celebrate that.
Yes, of course. That's why when we move to our new zip code into eternity in heaven, that's why that number that no man can number is going to sing unto the Lamb that same song. But they're not going to lose. We are not going to lose our specific and intentional identity. He made us different on purpose for his purpose, for his glory.
I love that.
Cain said, after he murdered his brother Abel, remember what he asked God? Am I my brother's keeper? If we ask that today, Lord, are we our brothers or sisters' keeper after we say what we have to say, hiding behind social media and spewing out hate and bitterness? God still says the voice of your brother is still crying from the ground.
Wow. So I hear you talk about being hopeful. And so I just want to ask you, what does being hopeful in the area of diversity look like on our campus moving forward?
Well, first of all, conversations like this. Right. You know, we cannot assume that everybody's having these conversations.
We cannot.
And we can't barge in like a bull in a china shop either. Because the fact of the matter is, ladies, not everyone is ready. But I believe if you keep on talking, keep on walking, keep on living the way that Christ wants us to live, treating just the simple things, treating each other as we want to be treated. Not only keep talking, keep having these conversations, keep asking these hard questions, but then faith without works, James says, is dead. So what will your works look like once you've had these conversations? It's questions like, how may I help you? How may I serve you? But intentionally walking that out, though, making sure that everyone hears this, because it is good news. Jesus came to reconcile us back to the Father. There's a broken relationship that needed to be mended. There are broken relationships on this campus that need to be remended, that need to be repaired and mended. Who will be the one to make the first move?
I guess that's what I was going to say. That's the challenge that everybody should be committing to. You just gave us the template of what Imago Dei should look like. Being the image of Christ to others, and also us being the image of Christ and in general. So thank you so much for your words of wisdom and honesty. That is our guide. That is what we hope to bring to this campus as we continue these conversations of truth.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And as we model this conversation here in this space, as you said, what does this look like in other spaces? How can this conversation continue to go forward? And it might look daunting at first, and some people feel like they might not be ready, but no, it's time to walk in. And as we take these steps forward, we continue to press and move forward, as you said. And we're excited for what that looks like here at Lee University. And absolutely thank you for giving us so much wisdom and a beautiful template as we truly live out Imago Dei. Thank you.
Thank you.